Everybody want to be like Mike.
Yeah, everybody want to be like Mike. So, what did everybody want to do in turn? They thought if you drank Gatorade,
You can jump.
you would be able to. That's right.
Put some J's on.
That's right.
Put your tongue out.
You're gonna be like Mike.
So,
but if you see that all day, every day, granted, you're going to have those guys as you're going to hold them to a higher standard.
okay.
Because everybody wants to be like Mike. And what does Michael Jordan do? So therefore now, okay, the commercials have done this. Now the media, they got to follow Michael Jordan around because we now got to see what Michael Jordan's life is like.
And he's not political.
No, he's not. He does a good job of deflecting and being out of that limelight.
Yeah. So we've presented a case. We've presented a description of how we see this thing doing of the modern athlete. Can they be political? We said, yes, they should be able to. But we talked about the atmosphere in which they are living in, right? And what the expectations are. And it's conflicting. Some believe they're not role models. Some wholly address being role models.
Yep.
We talked about this, how they're covered now, all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to express their personal beliefs, but they're not separate from their brands or their organizations, and they are paying the price for it. You and I, we can get off work, and it's Damon and Kendrick off work with their ideals. Now, granted, if we went too far extreme, I mean, we could say something in our parents or families will be mad. But I'm just saying in general, right? So how do they fix that? What's the solution? Do they have to create another persona, something that's totally like, what is it? Because Jordan is Jordan all the time.
Yeah.
He's never off. He's never Jeffrey.
Nope.
He's always the GOAT on display.
That's right.
LeBron is always LeBron on the court and then Mr. Cleveland off, but he's still a brand. How do they balance to be able to express themselves?
You don't. Ever.
How do they balance? What's
They
the
don't.
solution?
There isn't one. That's the price you pay for greatness.
So they've paid. They have an unintended muzzle placed on them, and if they say something contrary to the brand, they're so linked to their organizations and their brands that they'll never. So you're saying they'll never have room to speak freely without the influence.
Well, I think this
Unless they retire.
Well, this era athlete, they are changing that. Like you saw when LeBron and D Wade and Melo got together and they spoke.
But they have a few privileges that the average athlete
and CP3. I forgot about CP3.
Now they're high dollar in their prime, earning millions. LeBron has a little bit more leeway versus the B-list hooper.
Yeah.
Remember Craig Hodges? Craig Hodges was rolled out of the league because he wasn't Jordan.
That's true.
Right? His ups, I always feel like it's a balancing act. Is the headache worth the payout?
That's true.
LeBron could put on the Black Lives Matter T-shirt, and it was worth the hundreds of millions of dollars that he brings for Cleveland in the NBA.
And he got a little backlash too.
Yeah, but if he was a B-list player,
it wouldn't even been on TV.
Well, not only that, he might not be worth even being around.
True.
In some cases. Because, I mean, it's like that in life. It's like that in a normal job.
That's right.
You can be a jerk, but if you have high value to a company, like, oh, man, we make a lot of money off this person and a lot of productivity, they'll put up with you.
They will.
A little bit. You can have
to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. You can have some kind of be a little weirdo, have some out there ideals, but the pros outweigh. And I'm not saying it's right, but you can see it in everyday life.
That's right.
Right.
Would the 49ers have gotten rid of Colin Kaepernick the year after he took them to the Super Bowl? If this situation would have come up? Would the 49ers let him go?
Listen, he created the perfect storm to let them off the hook.
That's right.
He was already struggling.
Yep.
and then
he was injured.
Yeah, and then and underweight,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do this. So then it's like, man, it all fit for them to say,
that's right.
Let's move.
That's right.
But if his play had been really high, it was like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
When Dennis Rodman was a pain, but his upside was so high, his talent was so high.
The Bulls let him go. But
they got what they needed out of him.
But Pop picked him up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to them, they got what they needed out of him, and then someone else.
They got a couple championships.
So this basically was Cap was in. They got what they needed out of Cap. They felt like, there was no more upside, and obviously no one else felt the same, the same way. So, and this is the other thing with Cap, and I'm just going to say this, and I don't even want to ride on Cap. The man was not done dirty. He quit his job. He opted out of his last year's contract.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, he's still a millionaire. So he decided to leave.
Yeah.
He decided to roll the dice and say, maybe I can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
To roll the dice to say, maybe I can go somewhere else. That's his choice.
It is.
You quit a job, you think you might get another one? You might not.
That's right.
Your skill set might not be appealing to no one else.
Yeah.
So we don't have all the answers, but these are just things to think about as we watch these athletes. And I just want to say, we got to remember it's entertainment. Separate the two.
Yeah.
Reality, it's an escape. Let these dudes get off work.
That's right.
Let them off work so they can live.
That's right.
When the jersey off after that press conference, let them off work.
Don't burn the man's jersey just because he left your team or his contract is up.
Yeah.
I mean that makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt him. You already spent the money.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, it's a job. It's an entertainment business, and people still have to live.
That's right.
Outside of that, separate the two.
And yes, these guys can be role models to a certain extent, but
if that's what you're trying to do.
That's right. But parents, you are the true role model.
Yeah.
So take charge.
And I'm gonna say this, right? Humans, we are very good at separating things, right?
Yes.
Prime example. You can go and say, to a certain extent, like, oh, don't buy anything from Procter & Gamble because of X, Y, and Z. People will say, they'll explain that away.
Mm-hmm.
Or Walmart. You're going to have to give them some compelling evidence for people to put Walmart down or Procter & Gamble down.
Yes, sir.
So they'll separate like, well, you know what? That's that, but you know what? I still need trash bags.
Mm-hmm.
I still need some toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
I still need this. So what I'm saying is, this is not even as serious as daily stuff.
It's not.
So guess what? Can't you appreciate somebody's basketball ability without caring how they feel about police brutality or gun rights, or abortion or animal cruelty or women's rights, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But the masses, obviously either people can and the companies don't feel confident that they can, or they really can.
And I think it's a sickness that you can't, because just because, say for instance, Ray Lewis values don't match up with mine, Ray Lewis is not going to affect my household any more than anybody else will. So my thing is, let those individuals be individuals and live their life. And I'm a true fan of the game. I like to see those guys out there between the lines, giving their all. I enjoy that, but it's not going to affect how I treat anybody in my day-to-day life.
And at the end of the day, I mean, if it's something you really, and there's nothing wrong if it does, like if it's like, oh my God, like this dude views are just totally what I don't believe in. Then you still have the right to say, you know what, I don't want to watch him anymore.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But to
condemn the whole league,
to
or
condemn
whatever.
it, to try to suppress someone's that's a freedom, because something that's basic to me can really be like, oh, I didn't know he felt that way about that. And that's fine, but I know how we all enjoy having, all we giving you is opinions. This is called I'm Just Saying.
That's right.
You probably don't agree, but you got to separate reality from entertainment.
You have to. And guys, that's why we just celebrated Independence Day a few days ago. I mean, everybody has their independence. Yeah, and our soldiers, they fought for that.
And it means something different to everybody.
It does.
For some, Independence Day is not Independence Day.
That's right.
And I'm going to leave it
like
that.
That's right.
So, subscribe. Keep tuning in.
Let us know your thoughts.
Leave your comments. Hey, we just saying. Take care.
Peace.